Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
To celebrate our nation, that was Skylar Cole with tonight's national anthem performance. It's Saturday night and live on 2K Sports. We've got the excitement of the NBA for you tonight. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Thank you, Kevin. Seth Curry has solidified his place in the league. He says, I've just embraced my role no matter where I've been. Growing up with a pops who played 16 years in the NBA and who was never a starter, I looked up to him just as much, if not more, than the All-Stars. I wanted to have a long career just like him. Kevin?
On his way, for sure. David, thanks. So the Nets starting five. Durant is the 4, with Claxton playing the 5. Irving is out there with Simmons, and it's O'Neal in at the small forward. And for Utah, Jordan Clarkson is out there with Conley. Then there's Jared Vanderbilt. Then it's Olynyk, and it's Markkanen in at the 3 spot.
And after that trade request this summer, Kevin Durant's still a Brooklyn Net. The offers weren't enough to move the needle, and the decision was made to run it back. One thing's for sure, when you've got KD, you've got a chance.
Now here's Simmons. Pass to O'Neal. Here's Claxton, and he dunks it down.
Whoa, that'll wake you up.
He is such a great athlete. And here's Clarkson. He brings it up for Utah. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
And after that game, it was impressive to look at the box score and see the work they did at the free throw line.
That was a concerted effort to try to get to the line as much as possible, and it really made a difference. He was able to simply lay it in over the top of the smaller man.
And after the last couple seasons, it's nice to get back to the more normal way of doing things, isn't it, Smitty?
It is, Kevin. We saw the playoff bubble, the reduction in games, more back-to-backs. Shows you how much can be taken for granted.
That one misses for Olynyk.
And you know there aren't many teams with a more dedicated fan base than Utah. Jazz fans are behind their team no matter what.
Now here's Durant. He's coming off a 28-point game against Toronto.
You can't forget about how great he was at forcing contact and getting to the line. He racked up a lot of easy points at the line that way.
It's always striking, Greg, to see the bond between the Jazz team and their followers.
Well, when you're the only game in town, people take the team to heart. And we see it in cities like Portland and San Antonio as well. The fans form that attachment to their team.
Brooklyn shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific. 79% as a team.
No good on that one. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. You know, GA, something you notice about this Jazz team, they love to shoot the three. Statistics tell you that, and they tell you that.
And Kevin, not only do they love it, they do it well. The two sadly don't always go hand in hand, but these guys can really hurt you from range when they get going.
This is where Markkanen is lethal. Good balance off the catch, smooth mechanics, soft touch.
Irving with a clean look. No good on the triple.
The defense got lucky there. That's one you expect him to drain.
Vanderbilt finds Conley. Olynyk, a screen on Simmons. Clarkson outside. A three-pointer off the mark. Brooklyn with the ball. Simmons looking around. Here's KD. Markkanen pulls it in. Jazz have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Conley left side. There's the three. That one no good. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. The shake. And then Durant with the jam.
It's hard to contain KD when he's going for a dunk. He's long and athletic.
Conley dishes to Clarkson. To the middle.
Brooklyn foul, Nicholas Claxton. That's his first personal foul.
Utah shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Shoot two.
First free throw is good.
A physical big man who won't back down from anyone. Every team could use a guy like Kelly Olynyk.
And a whole new lineup here for Brooklyn. Second free throw, no good. And it's Warren with the ball for the Nets. They trail by 1. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
You know what it is? That's good advanced scouting. They knew what they were in for, and they were ready.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead.
And one of the game's best free throw shooters. It's a shame that Patty almost never gets to the line.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
He's living there tonight, a tough guy to guard without fouling. And the bonus, he's going to knock him down.
Sexton for 3. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in.
Proving he's not just a scorer. Patty's getting after it on the defensive end, disrupting the shooter's rhythm.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Nets lead by 1. Live from Vivint Smart Home Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And guys, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, they were very physical and very aggressive. They've just been the better team so far.
Utah trailing here. So with Durant sitting on the bench, this is the group that Jacque Vaughn has right now. They've got Joe Harris, sharp out there with T.J. Warren, and it's Mills, and it's Curry in at the 2-guard spot. Brooklyn with the ball. They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit, and that's the final game of this 5-game road run for the team. Feeds to Warren. And it's Warren with the jam.
And he's one of those players with a nose for scoring. Warren working the offensive glass there. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Now, here's Sexton. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And the dunk by Olynyk.
Go into the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, got to chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
In a close game like this, everything has to be challenged, and everything has to be earned.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Kevin Durant learned an important lesson at age 11. His dad cooked him one-on-one, dunking on him and talking trash. Durant started crying and he locked himself in his room, but he came to realize, what am I so mad at? It's good to be passionate, but channel it. Once you're off the court, leave it and go back to being you. Kevin?
Great advice. David, thanks. And the three-pointer GA has become a focal point of Malik Beasley's game.
Yeah, up until last season, only about half of his attempts were from beyond the arc. Now he's really zeroing in on the long ball as his primary weapon.
And though he's become a more complete player, Patty Mills' calling card is still the deep ball.
And there's the pass to Olynyk. Olynyk, a screen on Curry. Beasley with it. And Curry picks him up defensively. Here's Horton Tucker. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet.
Smart decision. Horton Tucker has a good feel for the game.
2-for-1 chance here.
Let's see if they use the clock to their advantage.
Mills passes to Sharp, and that's a foul called on Colin Sexton. That's foul number 2 for him.
His second foul in as many quarters. We'll see if he backs off or stays aggressive.
So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Vanderbilt's checked in for Kelly Olynyk. Lauri Markkanen comes in for Horton Tucker. Jordan Clarkson, he's checked in for Malik Beasley. And it's Mike Conley in for Sexton. Harris a screen on Conley. Here's Sumner. And the layup's good off the glass. Sumner's got the lead up to 4 now for the Nets.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
And here's Clarkson. He had a 39-point outing in their last game against New Orleans. Shot clock at 6. Fires for 3. The shot will not fall. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Nets out in front, up 4. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. KD, some great work for you defensively. How have you been able to contain them?
They're so tough, but we're playing hard. You know, guys are getting beat, but we're helping each other out, and that's what we have to do if we want to win this game.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Thanks for your time, man. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David. And we'll step away briefly, but we'll be right back out here for the start of the 3rd quarter after this break.
Welcome to our 2K Sports studio. The Brooklyn Nets find themselves in quite a battle here tonight.
Man, this is just beautiful basketball, poetry in motion. I mean, I think if they stay efficient, Ernie, in the second half, they'll pull away.
And now you have me wondering about poetry. Do you think Walt Whitman had a jump shot?
Maya Angelou did.
And now let's talk about that first half. A look at the top performers from both teams so far.
This is exactly what leaders do. They know what a win means tonight, and they're stepping up for their teams.
Yeah, so difficult to cover either of them. Should be an interesting second half. And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Look at Patty Mills. What a contribution.
I guess you could say his performance transcends the stat sheet.
Well, there are guys who worry about their numbers. He is not one of those guys, believe me.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Jazz trail by 4. Olynyk is out there with Jared Vanderbilt. Then it's Lauri Markkanen. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. And it's Conley in at the 1. And that's the group for Will Hardy as they begin the second half. It's Durant on the wing. And the 3-ball is good. Durant's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for Brooklyn.
A shooter of Durant's skill will always be a go-to guy. Once he has the ball, it's a done deal.
Conley kicks to Markkanen. Inside. Here's Vanderbilt, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Greg, Father Time is undefeated, and every player has to make the decision when it's time to retire. How big a factor was age for you?
Well, you don't want to leave anything on the table, but your body will tell you when it's time. I know that was the case for me.
And he makes the first. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Now Irving. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Into the lane. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Irving's got the lead up to 7 now for the Nets.
His ability to freeze the defender and then take off. Kyrie makes plays that others just can't.
Conley the pass to Clarkson. Over Irving. And it's Durant with the rebound.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category. And never say never, but we might never see another player who combines the length and guard skills of Kevin Durant. He's a player who completely breaks the mold.
Now, here is Irving. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. Simmons inside the line. And that one hits back iron.
Wow, that's one you just kind of assume is going in. Tough luck.
Now, here's Clarkson. Very solid contribution from him as he averages over 20 points a game. Launches a 3, knocks down the 3-ball. And when you think about Durant's singularity as a player, Steve Kerr said he's more gifted than Michael Jordan. Greg, what do you think of that?
Well, Steve's had a first-hand view coaching KD and playing alongside Jordan. He didn't say greater, but more gifted. I think it's a conversation. Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Markkanen passes to Olynyk. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Passes it to KD. away.
Wow. Now that's having a highlight reel in your mind. But in reality, it didn't work.
Here's Clarkson. Hands of the ball is out of bounds. Clarkson touched it last.
Substitution on the court.
Sexton against Irving. Down low. Here's Thomas. And that one goes long.
Trying to take advantage of soft defense, he might have gotten over-eager.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Nets leading by 6. Setting the floor for the Nets. We've got Durant. He's out there with Simmons. Thomas is out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's Sumner in at the point guard.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or two.
Yes, let's look on the bright side. You got a great look. It's a play that you might want to go back to again. Using his height and length there to prevent the second chance opportunity.
Thomas against Beasley. Thomas kicks to KD. Oh, good with the triple. The Jazz shooting 31%, not looking sharp offensively, to say the least. Here's Sexton. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
That's his first.
And how about the explosiveness of Sexton? A crafty floor general who is consistent in how hard he attacks the defense.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Brooklyn.
I think they've looked to dump it down low as often as possible. And so far, they've been super successful using this attack.
And you can't ignore their passing. All game long, they've done a great job of just delivering the ball in rhythm right where it needs to be.
That free throw, no good. And the Jazz with some changes. Horton Tucker comes in for Malik Beasley. And it's Clarkson in for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then for Brooklyn, Nicholas Claxton's checked in for Simmons. Joe Harris comes in for Thomas. And Curry subbed in for Irving. Good on the second free throw. Brooklyn leading by 5. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter.
2 minutes remaining.
Here's Claxton.
2 minutes.
Curry looking around from downtown. Sexton grabs the board. And so Sexton will bring it up for Utah. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. A shot by Clarkson, no good.
Okay, when you're trying to make a comeback, you can't be hucking up low percentage threes. You have to find a better shot within the offense.
Sumner, and a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Sumner's got the lead up to 7 now for the Nets. Clarkson against Curry. That one goes in.
Not just a score. Clarkson is very willing to dish it when a teammate's open.
Durant against Markkanen. Durant inside. And KD throws it down.
He can do incredible things. He can also help you win by simply being reliable.
Utah calls timeout. They're behind by 7. 1:07 left in the game. So all teams changing it up here. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during that timeout, the coach of the Jazz talked to his team. He told them we've got to make the most of every chance right now. This is a winnable game, but we've got to make plays. Guys, we'll see if they can come back.
Thank you, David. Now Curry. After Jordan Clarkson missing on that last 3-pointer.
This has reached desperation time for him.
For them to have a chance, everything has to go right on both ends from this point on.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
Here's KD, and he goes right over Olynyk and slams it down.
Inspired tonight. They fought hard and at crucial points just made the plays.
Especially during this last run, which ultimately put the game away.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Clarkson against Curry. The Jazz again can't hit it. Simmons with it. And so it's Brooklyn with the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time GA this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And now let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline for our player of the game. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyrie, a top-tier matchup. I wonder if you circled this one on the calendar.
Every game is like that for us, especially going forward. We understand what we're trying to accomplish. The little things matter in the big picture, so we want to just come out and just have a consistency on both ends of the floor.
Well, it showed up tonight, man, with a big win, man. I appreciate your time. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. As New Balance presents our player of the game, Kevin Durant.